Picture a breathtaking desert landscape under the silvery glow of the moon, where the crumbling remnants of an ancient fortress stand as a testament to a bygone era. Now, fast forward to the present day, and imagine a cutting-edge operations room, where analysts meticulously study satellite imagery of underground facilities nestled deep within mountainous terrain. At first glance, these two scenes may seem worlds apart, separated by thousands of years of history. Yet, they share a common thread: the strategic importance of terrain and logistics in defense. From the ancient Persian fortresses that leveraged the rugged landscape to withstand sieges, to the modern underground bunkers in Iran that echo similar strategic imperatives, the underlying principles of defense remain remarkably consistent, despite the vastly different technologies employed. In this video, we'll explore the fascinating parallels between ancient and modern defense strategies, and examine how the lessons of history continue to shape contemporary security dilemmas. Before we embark on this journey, be sure to hit subscribe and ring the bell to stay up to date on our in-depth explorations of the intersections between history and modern conflicts. Stay with me until the end, and you'll gain a new perspective on how the strategic decisions of ancient civilizations continue to influence the security challenges of today. Let's journey back in time to the ancient world. Imagine a majestic hilltop site in southwestern Iran where defensive walls or a grand palace complex once stood tall. The architects of this ancient wonder carefully selected a location that was both strategically advantageous and naturally fortified, with mountains forming a protective ring and nearby streams providing a reliable source of water. A prime example of such a site is Pasargadae, the ceremonial capital founded by the legendary Cyrus the Great in the 6th century BCE. While Pasargadae is renowned for its symbolic significance, its placement in the Morghab Plain, surrounded by higher terrain, offered a dual benefit. It commanded a prominent position while also leveraging the natural landscape for defensive purposes. According to archaeological surveys and UNESCO records, the planners of Pasargadae demonstrated a keen understanding of the importance of natural barriers and water sources in determining the site's layout, particularly when designing the royal garden and tomb complex. Although Pasargadae was not designed as a fortress in the classical sense, its palace and associated structures likely incorporated key principles of defensive strategy, such as controlling access routes and securing supply lines. This reflects an early recognition of the crucial role that location plays in determining a site's defensive capabilities, a principle that would continue to shape the design of fortified structures for centuries to come. Picture a skilled military commander in ancient times, carefully surveying the landscape to identify the most strategic approaches. The terrain itself becomes a defensive asset, as narrow passes through hills funnel any advancing force into predictable routes, allowing defenders to concentrate their limited manpower and prepare a strong resistance. Meanwhile, the city's infrastructure is designed with sustainability in mind. Water cisterns and granaries are strategically stocked near the inner precincts, ensuring that inhabitants can endure prolonged sieges or periods of unrest. Although detailed manuals on ancient Persian military strategy are scarce, surviving accounts and archaeological evidence from Achaemenid sites reveal that Persian rulers were masters at combining architectural ingenuity with logistical planning. This enabled them to design key centers that could withstand threats and maintain stability in times of crisis. Furthermore, the Achaemenid Empire's investment in an extensive network of roads, including the renowned Royal Road, facilitated rapid communication and the movement of troops or supplies across vast distances. This allowed relief forces to quickly reinforce threatened outposts, providing a critical advantage in times of conflict. Fast forward to the Sassanian era, where frontier fortresses stood sentinel along the rugged Highlands, their imposing structures a testament to the empire's military prowess. These fortified strongholds were strategically positioned to take advantage of the natural terrain, with layered walls and watchtowers carefully placed to provide maximum defensive capability. The Sassanians demonstrated a keen understanding of logistics, relying on local agriculture and caravan networks to supply their fortresses, while also leveraging the terrain to resist incursions from nomadic groups. Despite the vastly different equipment and technologies employed compared to modern warfare, the underlying strategic logic remains remarkably consistent. The Sassanians, like military strategists across the ages, recognized the importance of exploiting geographic features to gain a defensive advantage, securing logistics to sustain their strongholds, and creating depth to force an adversary to overcome multiple obstacles. This timeless approach to defensive strategy underscores the enduring importance of terrain, logistics, and layered defenses in protecting against threats. Fast forward to the present day, and the Middle East remains a hotbed of strategic competition, with a particular focus on protecting critical assets from aerial strikes and precision-guided munitions. In Iran's case, its nuclear program has attracted a lot of international attention, and the country has turned to underground facilities as a means of shielding its sensitive enrichment and research activities from potential attacks. Two notable examples of these modern fortresses are the Natanz site, which is partially subterranean, and the Fordow facility, buried deep beneath a mountain near Qom. Unlike ancient strongholds built with stone walls, these facilities rely on reinforced concrete and the natural protection of mountain overburden to safeguard their critical infrastructure. However, these facilities have not gone unscathed, with reports confirming that Israel has targeted Natanz above-ground installations, damaging its enrichment capabilities. Additionally, Israel has reportedly struck the Iraq heavy water reactor area, further escalating tensions in the region. The Fordow facility, situated approximately 80 meters underground, is considered particularly challenging to destroy without specialized bunker-buster ordnance, highlighting the complexities of modern warfare and the importance of advanced military capabilities in countering hardened targets. Picture Israeli planners meticulously analyzing satellite imagery, revealing the intricate details of underground facilities, such as entrances carved into hillsides, extensive tunnel networks, and protective vaults designed to withstand attacks. They understand that successfully targeting such deeply buried facilities requires advanced munitions like the GBU-57 Massive Ordnance Penetrator, a weapon currently only in the possession of the United States military. However, even with such powerful ordnance, there are no guarantees of complete destruction, given the reinforced concrete and geological barriers surrounding these facilities. This dilemma bears a striking resemblance to the challenges faced by ancient commanders confronting a well-sited fortress. A direct assault may prove costly or even futile, prompting consideration of alternative strategies. These might include siege tactics, cutting off supply lines, or employing subterfuge to achieve their objectives. In the modern era, the concept of siege has evolved to encompass a range of options, including cyber operations aimed at disabling control systems, sanctions designed to strangle resources, intelligence-driven covert actions, or diplomatic efforts to undermine supporter networks. By drawing parallels between ancient and modern military strategies, it becomes clear that the fundamental principles of warfare remain remarkably consistent, despite the vastly different technologies and tactics employed. On the Iranian side, the leadership plays a crucial role in overseeing the construction and maintenance of these underground fortresses, entrusting engineers with the complex task of designing and building facilities that can withstand potential threats. To achieve this, engineers must possess a deep understanding of geology, tunnel design, ventilation systems, power supply infrastructure, and radiation safety protocols, ensuring that sensitive operations can continue uninterrupted even in the face of adversity. In a striking parallel to ancient Persian builders who stockpiled granaries and designed cisterns to sustain their strongholds during prolonged sieges, modern planners equip these underground bunkers with backup power systems, advanced air filtration units, and secure communication networks. Moreover, they incorporate redundancy into the design, so that even if one entry point is compromised, alternate routes and systems can preserve functionality, thereby ensuring the continued operation of critical infrastructure. This strategic approach, preparing for prolonged pressure by safeguarding critical nodes, reflects a consistent impulse in both ancient and modern defensive strategies, despite the vastly different materials and methods employed. By prioritizing resilience and adaptability, Iranian planners aim to create a robust defense system that can withstand and respond to potential threats. Consider how analysts interpret these parallels between ancient and modern defensive strategies. In an intelligence briefing, a military expert might observe, the ancient Persians strategically selected mountain strongholds to deter invaders, leveraging the terrain to their advantage. Similarly, today's nuclear designers place enrichment cascades deep beneath the Earth's surface, under kilometers of rock, to achieve a comparable effect. Both approaches aim to increase the cost and complexity of an attack, forcing an adversary to commit significant resources over an extended period. This analogy highlights the conceptual continuity between ancient and modern defensive strategies, illustrating how terrain remains a crucial force multiplier in both contexts. However, it's essential to exercise caution and avoid overstating the similarities. After all, ancient fortresses were not designed to withstand the destructive power of guided airstrikes or precision missiles, just as modern bunkers do not rely on defenders armed with bows and arrows. While the technologies and tactics may have changed dramatically, the underlying strategic logic of protection persists, underscoring the enduring importance of terrain and defensive design in military planning. Imagine a scene in Tehran. Engineers and officials discuss enhancements to underground facilities, weighing geological surveys, cost, and time. They recall how past generations valued hidden repositories of wealth or food to survive sieges, and see their work as extending that legacy into the nuclear age. Public statements avoid revealing technical details, but state media may allude to invincible fortresses or defying enemies' bombs, feeding narratives of resilience. Observers note these themes without treating them as literal claims of immunity, rather, as morale-boosting rhetoric anchored in real engineering efforts. On the opposing side, imagine a scene in which Israel's military planners debate whether to strike underground sites directly or focus on above-ground support infrastructure like centrifuge assembly plants, power supplies, or transit routes, akin to ancient tactics of isolating a fortress before direct assault. Intelligence networks seek vulnerabilities, such as poorly secured tunnel entrances, dependencies on external supply lines, or clandestine support facilities. They may also explore non-kinetic means like cyber attacks to disrupt control systems and psychological operations to sow doubt among personnel. This mirrors ancient efforts to undermine defenders' will or resource base rather than direct storming of impregnable walls. Amid these strategic calculations, the public in both countries experiences the emotional weight of hidden threats and defenses. Iranian citizens hear of deep underground sites and feel a mix of pride in perceived invulnerability and fear of potential escalations. Israeli audiences watch news of possible attacks on deep bunkers and weigh the practical implications. Both sides understand that underground fortresses elevate the stakes. Striking them risks escalation, while failing to neutralize them may leave adversary capabilities intact. Yet, history reminds us that even the most formidable fortresses can be circumvented by evolving technologies or alliances. Ancient Persians saw fortresses fall when new siege engines or betrayals undermined defenses. In modern times, bunker busters may advance, or diplomatic breakthroughs render the facilities irrelevant. Sanctions might erode resources to maintain them, or internal political shifts could change strategic priorities. Understanding this dynamic encourages a nuanced view. Building deep defenses buys time, but does not guarantee indefinite security. As we conclude, we find ourselves back at the silent ruins of ancient sites, now treasured archaeological sites rather than formidable defensive strongholds. The stones that remain bear testament to the strategic thinking of our ancestors, who prized terrain, logistics, and resilience as essential components of a robust defense. Fast forward to the present day, and we see that today's underground nuclear facilities stand as the technological descendants of that ancient tradition, leveraging the natural protection of geology to shield vital assets. However, the context in which these defensive strategies are employed has undergone a profound transformation. Modern warfare's unprecedented scale, speed, and destructive power far surpass the siege warfare of ancient times. Despite these differences, the enduring lesson remains clear. Strategic cultures across the ages have consistently sought to protect their most valuable assets. Whether grain stores in ancient granaries or centrifuge cascades in modern nuclear facilities, by exploiting natural features into their designs. This timeless principle underscores the importance of adaptability and innovation in defensive strategy, as nations and civilizations continue to evolve and respond to modern threats. Understanding this continuity helps viewers grasp why nations invest heavily in underground defenses and why adversaries weigh the costs and risks of attacking them. It reminds us that while technology evolves, fundamental strategic imperatives remain constant. Recognizing these patterns fosters deeper insight into current events and tempers simplistic expectations. Just as ancient armies learned that no fortress is impregnable forever, modern planners know that underground facilities offer protection but not absolute safety. If this exploration of fortresses past and bunkers present captured your imagination, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Share your thoughts. How do you see the legacy of ancient strategic thinking in today's high-stakes conflicts?